Hello, everyone. My name is Cassie Gregory. I am an intuitive artist who paints with the spirit animals. Today, I'm going to talk to you about something that's been coming up a lot lately. And a few people ask me questions about this. How do I keep motivated? And I can tell you that it's not really easy. And it requires I guess it requires a lot of faith. And even with me, I think gratitude as well, that gratitude I have this opportunity and faith that this opportunity is going to grow into something that's really beautiful for me. So I guess with those two combined, it really works for me and it gives me something to wake up and look forward to. And the whole excitement of painting something that I never really thought I could do. Think these are all things that are on the surface level. But come on, no human being can feel motivated 24/7, and I don't always feel motivated 24/7. And sometimes, like you, I have self-doubt, and sometimes I get a bit afraid of what's going to come out of me, like, if it's not going to be good enough, I have self-doubt too, and I think every artist goes through this. But I think at the end of the day, I try to commit to the process of learning as one, and the process of becoming better. And I guess the process is surprise because usually you do a lot better than you thought you would if you surrender to the whole process and just let go of the outcome. So I think that's probably the easiest way for me to sit down and start a new work because I think starting is really the hardest place to be. Because when I think you're in the flow of it, I think your mind and your body just takes over and you just are in automatic unless you're learning a new skill, which requires patience as well. And I guess I was really lucky that I also was taught that feelings aren't real, feelings aren't your truth, because those things of I'm not motivated, I'm scared of this, and what happens is no good. These are just coming from the feeling part of your body. These are how you feel about things. This is coming from worry, excitement. We're all very feeling creatures. And I think just by realizing our feelings aren't real, sort of allows you to let go of the control our feelings have over you. Or if you want to put it in a better way, feelings aren't your truth. Feelings are just way to help you navigate life. And they're really, really great messengers, and they will give you an idea of what's actually happening inside yourself and outside yourself, but you cannot allow yourself be at their mercy or their whims. Children be at the mercy of their feelings and the whims of their feelings, and you sort of look at a child just tuck a tantrum and you think how's that going to get you anywhere, but that child has the right to have that feelings because they're in that stage of where the feelings for them are their truth. But as you get older and a bit more emotional intelligence, you realize that your feelings are not your truth. Your feelings are there to help you navigate the world. And sometimes your feelings are completely wrong with a situation. And these feelings can get us so stuck in what we're doing. And don't blame them. They're programmed to keep us safe. They're programmed to keep us in a routine of what we know and allow us to feel like we've got some sort of safety in the world. Because remember, in the past, we lived in a very dangerous world. But now we have a bit more society. I'm not saying the world isn't dangerous, but we have a lot more security these days. So we don't need to be at the whims of our feelings. We need to be able to monitor our feelings. And to me, I have conversations with my feelings. And sometimes I got to realize what's my truth by listening to my feelings and what's not my truth by listening to my feelings. And the feelings is only a quarter of what's actually going on. And your feelings can also mislead you as well and can hold you back. And the biggest one for artists or creatives is I'm not motivated. I don't feel like it. I'm too scared to. And a lot of it's not even that. It's just that you're still comfortable in your comfort zone and you don't want to break through the next layer of your comfort zone. So if we can't rely on our feelings and our motivation to get work done, what can we rely on? Because a lot of us just rely on, oh, I feel creative. I'm super creative, and give me a pen now. I have a few solutions. It depends how what you want to do with your arts or your crafts or your hobbies or your career. And the biggest one is habit, self discipline, test yourself, and challenge yourself. These seem so straightforward that we all know these are all legitimate strategies, but we still get caught in our feelings and sort of end up wasting our day and wasting our life. And then we'll waste a couple of months and it's like, where's that project? I wanted to get that project finished. Then you start feeling really hung up on yourself and your feelings start developing a new truth about yourself of you being worthless, careless, or maybe you don't care about that project anymore because you feel like you've let yourself down in a big sort of way. So you make up new truths about yourself, which is not true. But you make new truths about yourself either to sort of make yourself feel better about what's happening or better about you neglecting what you really wanted to do, or just to sort of say that, oh, well, it's happened now. How can we start again? Sometimes your feelings could be good because maybe that thing that you're working on wasn't really coming from your core values. But if it was, you're going to feel it and you're going to feel really disappointed from yourself. But then again, your core values might have shifted into something else, or you might have grown as a human being. But this is what I'm saying now. If you've got a project that you want to do, but you keep getting stuck in the whims of, I'm scared, I'm not good enough, I'm not in the mood or not motivated to do this, I can't find time. I'm going to sort of let you see different ways you can sort of break through and make time for what you really enjoy. Make time for your passions. And I'll start with habit because habit's probably the easiest one. Habit is, they say it takes about 30 days to change your habit. You can just reevaluate, like take a month out and just really observe the habits that you have and see how they're bringing you closer to what you want or further away from you want. With me, my husband doesn't like it, but now I turn off my phone when I'm working because I know that's a bad habit for me. And I know if my phone's on, I'm probably going to be on Facebook. And I don't want that. I don't need that. It's not going to get me closer to my dream. Good habits of pick up a pen for 20 minutes and or go to a museum once a month or once a week just to get inspiration. Do those little things for inspiration or look the habits. Sleeping well. See if you're sleeping well, you're not sleeping well. Just think about how your habits can bring you closer to what you're doing and be gentle with yourself while you're adjusting these habits. Don't expect yourself to sort of go from no drawing or no creative activities to 3 hours of creative activities. Habits don't work that way. You're very lucky if you can get in these routines, but I suggest doing small chunks in your week or start doing 20 minutes because if you start 20 minutes, pick up your pen and you might even realize that you're doing the 5 hours, but just tell yourself little chunks like this week I'm doing 20 minutes. Therefore, your expectations aren't as high and you're not going to scare your feelings away because our feelings are quite jumpy. And if you give yourself little bites, you feel like you can have a negotiation with it, with yourself and think, so well, 20 minutes, it's not going to take anything out of your life. But 3 hours, it's like, oh, can we sit on time with my husband or can we sit on time with my kids? I might miss my soaps. It's a lot of things that you feel like you're missing out on because it's not easy to make that shift because, as I said, your brain likes you to be comfortable. Making shifts, even with habit, it will make you uncomfortable until you learn to be comfortable in a new habit. Because as human beings, we don't like change. We say that we thrive in change, which we do, but sometimes we just like having our stables, I guess. And another thing I do myself is I schedule in everything I want to achieve for the week. And then I find my diary and I spread that out in small chunks throughout the week. And then I find I have more time so I can add more in my week. And then it's like I make sure I make time with my friends, my family, and my other work. And that helps. And I realize I can achieve more in that time because I have that routine and habit and I don't have to think every day. Because that's another thing that stops you from doing things. Because once you start thinking about what you're doing with your day, you still give yourself chances for those feelings to come in and try to make you feel safe and try to make you feel comfortable. And it'll be easier for you to say, oh, my favorite show is on Netflix. Maybe I'll watch that for my day. But if you actually have something scheduled in for that day, you can just follow it. You don't have to think or feel. You just do it. And then you realize you still have time at the end of the day to watch your show or do what you want. It depends on how busy you are. Like, as I said, I start off with just doing one thing a day. So then I had a couple hours between myself and work. So that was my way of getting comfortable in my schedule, I guess. But then when you feel comfortable in that schedule, you can build and build and build on it and make it as busy or as relaxed as you need it to be for where you want to go or what you want to do. Another thing that is important is being disciplined with yourself. I'm not saying being a bully to yourself. There's a big difference. Being a bully to yourself is beating yourself up for not doing something, beating yourself up for being a perfectionist or not making it perfect, and beating yourself up for trying to be someone that you're not or trying to go above where you're already at. But being disciplined is just sitting down and doing the activity without expectations. If you're good at it, fantastic, but you're only going to get better by learning mistakes. And that's another point is learn to make mistakes, because if you learn to make mistakes without investing your feelings in making mistakes, you can look at it from a logical mind and just think, this mistake's here. How can I fix it? Instead of beating yourself up of thinking, oh, well, this mistake is the end. I'm not good at this. Then you get yourself in an emotional spiral and then you're at the whims of your emotions again. My biggest thing is I'm a bully to myself. I admit that. I'm very hard on myself. But then I have to remind her, what's the difference between being disciplined and being a bully? Discipline is just sitting down, doing it, and not investing anything else, but just doing what you said you're going to do. I think people put too many expectations on discipline. Discipline is I'm saying I'm going to do this and I do it. Remember, that's all discipline is. You say you're going to do something, you do it. It's making that promise to yourself. Okay, so that's another one. Another way I find of getting motivated is listening to music or listening to something that gets you in a high vibe thing. Like, to me, I have techno music when I have bad days when I have to draw for a long slog. And it helps me get through it easily because then I don't know what time it is. I don't know how much time I invested in it. Makes it so much easier. Or give yourself something nice at the end and celebrate yourself. So you feel like it's not just all the hard work, that you're getting small wins along the way. Because it's the small wins that you're going to get along the way that's going to keep you going. And even if that small win is just a pat on the back, drawing that first drawing, feeling proud of yourself, your small wins are up to you to decide. Also, another thing that came up was it just flew out, but it was important. Let me think about it. Small wins. Be kind to yourself. Comfort zone, the most important one. And this is about challenging yourself. Is do something a day that, oh, I think everyone's heard this. Do something every day that scares you, and that doesn't mean like jump off a cliff or anything, but do something that pushes against your emotions. Build your willpower. If you feel like you don't want to do something and you find it difficult to do it, just push against it, because the more you're able to do this on a daily basis, it expands your willpower. And with a bigger willpower, it'll allow you more flexibility to do more things on a longer period basis without your emotional self, I guess, getting whiny. Because that's what happens when you get out of your comfort zone. Your emotions jump in and they start getting whiny and then they start wearing you down. and then your self-doubt comes in. But if you have pushed yourself beyond your comfort zone a little bit by little bit, little bit by little bit, your brain's not going to be scared, and you don't have to push against and against and against your natural way of being just to get something done or one of your paintings done or keep motivated, because you've already had the willpower to do it. You've already shown yourself in your brain that it's safe to do this, or it's actually positive to do this. And your brain doesn't have to question it anymore because you have that willpower to keep going, even though it feels uncomfortable. And this will only expand and expand, expand. The more discipline you put on yourself, and the more even structures and habits that you have behind you. So, on a surface level, I'd like to think that I'm naturally motivated, or I love my art that much that I keep motivated. I want to make a difference in the world. That's why I'm motivated. Yes, these are all part of it, but I'm a human being. So sometimes that's not enough to keep motivated. Sometimes I have to be disciplined, have habits, even a schedule, which I don't like, but the schedule really helps me see how much actually time I have. Because sometimes when we guesstimate time, time doesn't isn't really there as an artist. Sometimes we have to rely on the structure of our world to help us through this. And I guess making a promise and a commitment to yourself to make things happen, like a deadline or a date, can also help things, because there's a part in our nature that wants to sort of live up to expectations of others, and especially ourselves. So these are all ways I find myself giving myself a kick up the ass when I need it, or even exploring my feelings when I realize that they're holding me back. Remember, feelings are not your truth. They're messengers, but not your truth. Your truth is way more expansive than you think it is. Your truth requires a lot more time than actually your feelings can give it. And your truth is always changing and expanding as well. And with that, with your feelings as well. Your feelings are your messages to keep you safe, messages that tell you if you're happy or sad, messages tell you what you like and what you don't like. But as you know, sometimes going towards something that is big, you still have to do things that are not so colorful and not so fun. It requires time, but the outcome of what you're planning to do is worth it. So if you feel you're worth it and you want your dreams to be realized in the world, these are a few strategies that I have myself to help me get motivated and make sure things happen. Even with me being creative and it's really hard, I have a day of the week where I do my painting. And if I miss that day, I feel like I have to catch up because I made that commitment for that day to be my painting day. So they're little strategies I have. And having the habit day, it sort of helps, because then you just think, well, my day, I'm at work, and it's easier to communicate to the people around you, to have less distractions as well when you have a schedule. Anyway, it's up to you how far you want to take your art or your creative life. You're always in control of this, but I'm just giving you better ways of managing your feelings when it comes to your destiny or your dreams. And emotional intelligence is a big part of this. It's not just about scheduling, it's not just about making time. It's about being emotionally intelligent with yourself and knowing yourself and your limits, and using little strategies to help you make this journey as carefree as possible, where you still feel like you're achieving your life the way you want it to be. Anyway, thank you all for listening. Love and light, Cassie. Bye, all.